Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
And we are back. We are back on Podmaker Season 2, Episode 3, recap of Peacemaker.
It's the best dimension ever.
Best dimension ever. It's an interesting dimension. I feel like we have a lot to break. There's a lot to break down this episode.
A lot.
There's a lot. There's a lot going on. Very happy for everybody. Thanks for tapping in, everybody who's tapped into the first couple episodes so far. By the way, I'm RB3. I'm joined by the great Cade Huseby.
What up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. We love talking about Peacemaker, and we love hearing your comments. That actually deserves a little eagle sound. But Rob, why don't you kick us off with some comments from the past two recaps? Anything interesting going on down there?
Yeah, that's thanks for setting that up. Okay, yeah, we definitely want to encourage everybody to leave your comments. That helps us both grow as a show and as a channel, and also just to hear what y'all think, because it can't just be us two watching Peacemaker. There gotta be at least like 500,000 people, I assume. So then on the last week's episode, well, for one, I'm reading comments from both the actual episode itself and then from some of the clips. So the clips that we posted, thank you, Kay, for helping us out with those clips too.
Gotta have the clips.
For one, also shout out to the great Tim Meadows for actually liking one of our clips on Instagram.
Yes, he is a fan.
That's huge. That's huge for us.
Timmy, come on the pod.
Yeah, Tim, if you're watching at home, man, pull through the first cut. I'll see you in the Riverside link and we could get it chopping. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Hit us with those improv geniuses. And yeah, speaking on Tim Meadows, we had a clip that we posted celebrating him. And Sand Wands draws 5825, whatever. Said he's hilarious in this. Yeah, he is. He was hilarious in this show.
Yes, he was. I'm going crazy with the soundboard today.
No, I like it. Todd Bumpy 7244 said deep insights, such as he brings a new vibe to this character. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty deep insight.
That is a deep insight. A vibe is a ephemeral thing that cannot be described with other words. It's just a vibe,
Exactly. If you're not, that was deep, Kate. See, let the people know. Joseph Ashley, the great Joseph Ashley, who is a big supporter of the channel. Thank you, Joseph. Said I enjoy this show. Love the breakdowns. Thanks for rocking with us, Joseph.
That's what's up. You get an eagle sound.
He does get eagle sound. He might need another eagle sound for catching that detail we talked about last week with the open eye. Joseph also said could use. I'm guessing he's referring to John Cena. John Cena could be using the eye to open ID close stuff. Like I guess you gotta.
Right.
And we actually did see that this episode too when he went into Argus and he had to get his eye scanned. So that could be the correlation with the eye.
And I'm going to talk my shit about that in a minute, but we have a whole first half of the episode to get through.
Yeah, no, we got things to get to. One more comment from Terry 111090 said, please review Alien Earth. Alien Earth is fire. I mean, me and Andres has actually been talking about doing Alien Earth. So we might get back on that. Now it's already on episode 5. I don't know how many episodes they got this season, but we might be hopping in late. But Alien Earth is on our brain too. So
I've been seeing the billboards for that around LA, and it definitely looks interesting. Do you think I should check it out?
You should. If you're an Alien fan, you should. I don't know how much the show would appeal to like non-Alien fans. If I'm being 100% honest.
I'm a believer. I've seen a few UFOs myself. So
hey, look, if you know aliens are aliens, that's what it's about. Actually, there's more comments that did flood in that we are gonna go through at the end of the episode.
Cool.
But let's jump into it because I know the people want to hear us talk about Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 3.
Yeah, let's do it. And again, guys, anything else that comes to mind while you're watching this recap, drop a comment. We will address it in the next week's episode. Okay, period.
Yeah, exactly. So stay tuned in. Now, Kate, you know, we start off episode with some huge plot revelations.
Yeah.
We speculated on the first episode on who was this jarhead that Amelia Harcourt was dating in this other universe. And, one of the theories that we came up with, maybe it was Rick Flag Jr., maybe, the homie that Peacemaker killed in the Suicide Squad is coming back for peace.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, you got that right on the nose. Like, you nailed that prediction.
I mean,
that's like on some Nostradamus level prediction right there.
It's I only do what I do. I only talk movies here on First Cut.
Right. And also, I also learned that a jarhead is actually slang for somebody who's in the Marines, but he's in the Army. So I thought a jarhead was like a derogatory term, like a somebody who's like not that bright. You know what I mean? But it's actually like a real thing in our real world. It's like a nickname for people in the Army. Did you know that?
I knew it was a military thing, only because of the Jake Gyllenhaal movie Jarhead.
Oh, okay.
They're like a bunch of military guys. That's literally the only thing. I didn't know anything about being an Army or Marine or anything. They had to clarify that for me. I know a lot of people were theorizing because, it's supposed to be a Marine. That's why people were thinking maybe it was going to be Green Lantern who comes out.
A little misdirect.
Yeah. That's what that was. But, it's funny, too, again, going to the other pieces of James Gunn universe, Creature Commandos, Rick Flag Sr. is often referred to as a jarhead by the bride, Frankenstein's bride that show. So it's like his, Rick Flag Sr. was always getting referred to as a jarhead, and the cartoon, Rick Flag Jr. keeps getting called that. So it's kind of like James Gunn's kind of shorthand for this family kind of situation.
Got you. Interesting.
So we get a revelation that we get an opening title card 3 years ago. James Gunn loved 3 years. I don't know what's up with 3, but my man loves 3.
Yeah, he's doing the angel numbers 333.
You're going real angelic with it, and we get to see that Harcourt and Rick Flag Jr. were hooking up, and in the timeline right before Rick Flag Jr. was called out to Corto Maltese.
Some amazing retroactive lore storytelling that honestly explains kind of why she's so standoffish against being romantic with Peacemaker, or at least a part of it that's very specific to this dimension, to their dynamic, and something that she's kept hidden from him. And something that I would assume the other members of the 11th Street Kids don't know either, because they probably would have spilled some of that tea to him if they did. So it's almost like she's grieving alone while having to work alongside somebody who killed her side thing, her Rick Flag Jr.
Well, So this is James Gunn. You're opening up some interesting questions for us as fans here too, for what's being implicated here as well. James Gunn, you a silly goose, man. Because I see what you're doing. You're angry. You dancing the line here. I don't know if I like it, but speaking to this whole relationship side piece thing, we get a name drop of June, who is a enchantress who was able to blow a hole through the planet. Now,
it was giving Scarlet Witch, because I don't know who this person is. June, do you?
So yeah, June Enchantress. If you watch the very, very first Suicide Squad movie, the 2016 version, directed by David Ayer, starring Will Smith, and also Joe Kinnaman as Rick Flag. That's where he was introduced. That is where Enchantress, the whole end of the movie is basically her almost blowing a hole into the planet.
Oh, and shoot.
Yeah, her and Rick Flag end up kissing, and it ends up stopping the whole situation. So it's like, okay. The first Suicide Squad movie is literally, yes, it's the second DCEU movie that they ever made. It was Man of Steel, and then they went to the Suicide Squad. So, or it might have been Batman v Superman. I don't know. It was one of those. It was either the second or third. So you're actually reaching into some real deep DCEU lore. And again, we talked about it before. They did the retcon in episode 1. Now they're dipping their toes in, like, what is canon, what's not canon, like
He
what did we
definitely
see?
watched all the projects and was just sort of picking and choosing what's interesting, I feel like, to him, and like what he could actually use as like a storytelling device, and then kind of just threw the rest out.
It's funny. I'm liking it. I don't know. There's just the implications go crazy to me now, because it's like, are we implying that Jared Leto was still the Joker, because that was also in that movie,
Oh,
like,
no, please, no, please.
is that implying that, I mean, there's a lot that happened in that first Suicide. Ben Affleck is Batman. Is Ben Affleck the Batman of
No.
that universe? You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
Robert Pattinson is the Batman. Okay,
that's a separate debate for a separate
that's the one
day.
I want to see. But I
Yeah.
feel like, the fact he introduced the multiverse thing so right off the bat, I feel like that's sort of a catch-all explanation for everything going on. Maybe. I mean, we'll see how it all unfolds over the next 2 decades of our lives. But
Yeah, we gotta see. I just know, for me personally, I am saying that David Ayer's Suicide Squad is now officially canon in the DCU. Is made that transfer.
Yep.
Now we have officially 2 projects from the old world that we can say falls over into this one. We don't know if it's official or not. And even James Gunn, he's sneaky too, because I listened to his podcast, the Peacemaker recap podcast that they do, with Gunn and the cast. And he even was laughing at that moment. He was like, yeah, I think I did kind of do something there, didn't I? Like, yeah, you did. You're poking the bear. You're poking the bear, Gunn.
Yo, in a little bit of a tangent, speaking of James Gunn's and multiverses, I've been watching the new season of Rick and Morty, and he's literally, have you seen this?
Yeah.
James Gunn voices himself in an episode of Rick and Morty, where basically Rick and Morty are trashing on him for running the studio.
Yeah.
And that was just like such a jump scare when I was watching that.
Yeah, no, and that's what's so funny too, because it's like, and people think there's this whole beef between James Gunn and Zack Snyder, the old DC head guy versus the new guy,
Right.
And they're literally in that episode of Rick and Morty, like laughing at each other, like, it's
Yeah.
like Zack Snyder's like, oh yeah, I'm super buff, like it's just very funny, and they actually their connection runs even deeper, because Zack Snyder's first movie, Dawn of the Dead, was written by James Gunn. So
No
it's like,
way.
yeah, so like they, there's
They're
always,
laughing all the way to the bank, okay?
yeah, no, while us fans are picking and choosing, like,
Yeah.
which DC is better? Which universe? They're over there cracking mojitos and just laughing in our faces, and I love to see it. So
Yeah. That was super interesting.
yeah, the Rick and Morty, that's the top tier episode of Rick and Morty. Everybody should check that one out for sure.
Yeah, that one was crazy. We could talk about Rick and Morty another time too, but
Yeah.
hey, we're both going down at the same time. You know what they call that? An elevator ride. Okay.
Hold up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good transition. We get our opening credit sequence. Never skip the opening intro. Never. At least on this show.
I'm gonna skip it personally, but
Oh, you skipped the intro. Okay, I'll skip this one. I never skip the Peacemaker. But we get to the intro. We get into this alternate world. It's the best universe ever. I mean, everything just seems to be going Peacemaker's way. He has this cool motorcycle. His clothes are a little weird.
yeah, bro, that closet is decked out, but also has some of the most questionable fashion I've ever seen. Like the
Yeah.
fedoras. What?
Yeah, that boy, he dresses like a pillhead. Like he dresses like a 1980s Coke dealer. And
Yeah,
it
totally. And I think it's also a little bit of a clue as to like his persona in this dimension too. Like, on top of basically people kind of acting afraid of him, it kind of made me feel like, who is this Peacemaker 2 in this dimension? I don't know if he's somebody we would really vibe with at all.
Yeah, no, and you feel like you don't vibe with him. Seems like he treated his version of Amelia Harcourt really dirty.
Yeah.
Seemed like he was probably cheating on her. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Which is like, come on, man. You know, you don't when you dating a lady that could fight, you never want to cheat. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause
I'm dead.
she could whip both the girls and your patootie. Like, I don't even know why you would even kind of put
But
yourself in that
I don't know
situation.
if in this dimension that's the case with her, because she doesn't seem that inclined to joining the fight when it breaks out.
True.
But he wakes up in this alternate dimension, which to me, low key, is a nightmare because you don't know anything that's going on. It's like being Drew Barrymore in 50 First Dates. You need like a whole VHS tape of your life to watch over.
Right.
And you're all of a sudden the bearer of the consequences of somebody else's actions who just happens to be you in another dimension. But I don't know, Rob, my question to you is, would you, if you woke up in an alternate dimension, would that be terrifying to you or interesting to you, or how would that feel?
It would be terrifying. I like to use the Doctor Strange and the multiverse of madness logic, which is that every multiverse is just a dream. You know what I'm saying? Like you dream, you're really in another multiverse living your life. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of what we kind of experience at night. You know, it kind of be the same. It kind of be a dream. It could be a nightmare.
Simulation theory, maybe.
Simulation. You know, I don't know if I could trust the universe without the Kardashians, though. I don't know if I can trust that.
No, that's not a dimension I want to live in personally.
Yeah, no Kardashians. No. Yeah, it was very, very no Kardashians. No. I gotta say too. You know, this town. I mean, this is going into my theorizing a little bit, but actually, let's get into the episode a little bit more.
Okay.
A little bit more.
Yeah, so right off the bat, we see, David Denman playing Keith, talking about, what's going on with you. He's noticing the kind of extreme change in character. Doing a little
Celsius,
okay.
yeah.
I got my Diet Coke.
Right.
Also
Man,
don't want to live in a dimension without that.
Right. Yeah, no, living without Celsius and Zens is like, what are we doing? You know?
But yeah, dude, I'm just still stuck on that wardrobe because what in the world?
The wardrobe's crazy. The motorcycle is ridiculous. The flags, the stars on there. No Eagly in this universe.
That's
so
depressing.
It's like, what, his man's rolling without a pet. That's a little weird.
Yeah.
The funniest joke the entire episode was when he was on the motorcycle. He pulls up, kid rolls down the window. He's like, Peacemaker, all excited. Dude's like, and John Cena's like, yeah. And then the kid starts crying.
Yeah, he's like, that's a little bit much. That's a little bit much. And again, it's just like, that shows you how much he's worshipped in this universe. So no wonder he has a big ego. He's out cheating on Amelia. He's basically just sort of like this Kardashian level fame person.
Right. Kardashian level, but also, is speaking to lack of Kardashians, lack of any kind of when you look at the background. Listen, I'm a brother. I know, they say, that's meme on Twitter. I'm the friend that's too woke. I might be the friend that's too woke, right?
I'm here for it.
Sometimes I watch, a lot of times I watch movies and I can't help but notice the brothers in the background because I get it. Some movies are, a lot of the cast is, one way, and it's like, okay, I'm here with that. But at least look in the background and see, okay, how the brothers treat in the background, and how do they move,
Yeah.
And that's why I like Superman for that. Like, especially there's a lot of great black extras in that. Thunderbolts has some amazing extras. But I was looking at this town, and only this particular town in this other universe. I'm not catching any brothers anywhere. No brothers, no sisters.
Wow.
Nothing. There's really just only one kind of color of people we're kind of seeing in this little multiverse, this little universe.
Clock it.
So I'm kind of thinking maybe there's something. This might be the best dimension for Chris for this version of Peacemaker.
White people.
I don't know what is going on in this society.
It's got to be a specific detail too, because the fact that in the other dimension his family is like a white supremacist, literally Nazi family. I don't know if you'll have to blur that word out for the YouTube, but I mean, it makes you wonder, like, this dude is still wearing a devil mask in this dimension. Maybe he's just virtuous in this dimension because he got what he wanted, and it's like a weird sort of manifestation of those qualities of that character and that family, like I really would be interested to see how they unfold that. And it kind of ties back again to what we were talking about in episode 1 with how does somebody who's that evil become a hero in another dimension? Like, what butterfly effect went in place? And maybe he just got his way or something,
Yeah, maybe he got his way. Maybe the whole society is different, in going back to James Gunn's filmography. I love the way that James Gunn does world building. You go to Guardians 3, you get to that planet that's like all the animal planets, right? Like all the people are just like animal human hybrids or whatever. And it's like, yeah, you're thinking, oh, this is fun, this is cuddly, this is cute. Oh, this is a metaphor for genetic experimentation and eugenics and all of this. And then it's like, oh, this is actually a metaphor for something. And then I'm starting to think about other DC properties, right? Like, or at least recent DC properties that are highly acclaimed. Most particularly, I think of Watchmen, right? The HBO version of Watchmen with Regina King, created by Damien Lindelof. That was also another show that really leaned heavy into racial dynamics, racial consequences, and like this world. And the first season of Peacemaker, like you said, also did too. Like, his father was literally a Grand Wizard, Ku Klux Klan. So I think we're getting this set up for this ultimate super fun universe. Chris Peacemaker, he's getting flashed. Everybody's loving him. But I think there's some darker truth.
Absolutely. And there's just something so creepy about this dimension. It feels like they're on the set of Lazy Town. Like, everything feels like almost adjacent to Fantastic Four 2025. Sort of too polished, too perfect, too boring, but with order, but with
random terrorists. Like,
it feels like what you're saying. There's a dark undercurrent, and I think it has something to do with Chris and them saying, "Are you keeping America safe?" And him being lauded as this hero, but also us getting peeks into the fact that he maybe has a huge unchecked ego in this dimension. And the fact that he just, the whole line of this episode is best dimension ever. That can't be true. Like, that's gotta be some sort of ironic setup for the fact it's not the best dimension ever. And also, it's not the best dimension ever because all of my favorite characters aren't there.
Yeah.
Adrian's not there. Economos isn't there. Adebayo's not there.
Well, that's the perfect. Well, for one, yeah, they do need to be. Without them, like, the show, I need to see more of them. The scenes that we do get with the 11th Street crew, 11th Street kids, yeah. When we do get them back in the other universe, when they're waking up from being hungover, were hilarious. I mean, when homeboy Adrian was going through, oh, I'm a big fan of spiders. Da-da-da-da. Oh, I actually love crows. Da-da-da. I'm like, yo, why don't this dude shut up?
And I love that Adebayo just always plays into it too.
Yeah, she's like asking them questions. And then again, shout out to the Peacemaker recap podcast with James Gunn. He, as they were talking about these moments, he starts listing a bunch of like crow facts and starts spending like 10 minutes on his podcast talking about crows. I'm like,
Crows
oh, okay.
are very smart. Crows
Yeah,
are very
so
smart. And
my man-
also, did you know for its weight, spider silk is stronger than steel?
hey, look, I mean, hey, maybe for all I know, you know, the dang crows could take a toothpick and poke somebody to death with it. You know what I'm saying? So
They could if they wanted to, but they don't want to. They're nice.
right, they choose not to. They choose not to. But
Reminds
yeah,
me of Wednesday, which I'm also watching. But yeah.
Oh, I gotta get on Wednesday season 2. I still have to finish season 1. Honestly, still deep in season 1. But nah, they were funny. But the funniest another funny joke to me was him putting, like, it's all off screen. Adrian putting his fingers down Economos' throat, and he just wakes up. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm checking for vomit.
And then also, Economos, one of the last lines at the end of one of the scenes, he's like, "What happened to my pants?"
Yeah. He's like, "Oh yeah, I took him and folded him for you." Yeah. And we see the post-credit scene when he's actually taking off his pants, cleaning them up for him. I'm like, oh man.
It's
Adrian.
nice to see that these outcasts have made friends, you know,
Yeah. There's a community
including
for him somewhere.
Hardcore and Adebayo. They're friends, even though, you know, Hardcore probably wouldn't admit that publicly.
Right, true. Yeah, no, yeah, it's, you know, they find the balance. It's like the balance of the rough edges. Like, get somebody who's super rough, tough, you know, standoffish versus somebody like Adebayo who's very warm, caring. It's like a ultimate balance of characteristics. So
Yeah,
all
the
kinda
way
works
they
out.
contrasted the original universe with the best dimension ever. It's
Yeah.
just like, you know, very rough around the edges in comparison. But that's what I love about this crew and this show.
Yeah, no, they did that. They did a good. Yeah, I like the differences between the universes. I like that we're clearly seeing a journey of progression. I think for Chris, I don't know about the rest of the characters yet. We got to see where their storylines go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I would love to see where they head from here. But I was gonna say though, back in the best dimension, another reason why this is the best dimension, right, is because we get Rick Flag Jr. alive in this universe too.
What a trip.
Except he's a complete joke. Like he, you know, it says Peacemaker. What a joke.
What a joke.
Like, yeah, this one he's a joke. Like he's literally a goofy, dim. Like he's basically the Clark Kent. Like if the old version was Superman, this version is Clark Kent. Like complete goofball in the office, knocking over trash cans. He had that one line where he knocked over the trash can. And he was like, "It's just a big problem." Like,
Who put that trash can there? Yeah.
It's just like, and he knocks over somebody else's desk, and it just sits at the person's desk. He just like, it's like, bro, what do you?
And
really funny.
Chris killed him in his universe, and Chris killed his brother in his universe. So he's all of a sudden, all of his dark shadows are gone because his guilt is no longer there because these people whose lives he took are all of a sudden standing in front of him with a smile on their face. And it's like he feels exonerated all of a sudden.
See, I didn't
And
even think about that.
the love of his life is in love with him.
Yeah. Everything going right. I mean, he getting love. He's getting lost friends. He's getting, you know, redemption seemingly for his past crimes. But again, there's always gonna be some dark truth, some evil truth. You know, some conflict.
I personally don't want to live in a world where Hardcore says, "I didn't mean to bust your balls." Like, that's the best part of her character is how straightforward she is and how she roasts everybody. You know, like that alone was a major red flag that something is amiss in this world. I had a question though, since we're at the Argus headquarters part of the episode. The guy at the front desk said, "How did Mr. Grant's test turn out?"
Oh, yeah.
Who is he talking about? Do you know?
That I don't know. Who Mr. Grant is. I don't know. We have to gonna have to circle back to that one in later episodes. See if
Yeah,
I don't
if
know
you're
if he
watching and
grants.
you know what they were talking about, drop us a
Right.
comment and let us know. Because I mean, it was like a setup for a joke, anyways. But I feel like there's something deeper there.
It could be a character. It could be another hero origin story for all we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just a crazy joke. It's like very positive. It's like, oh man.
Maybe it's Adrian. Maybe it's Adrian. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe it's Adrian. Maybe it's Adrian. And then, I mean, gosh, I feel like we got through most of it. I mean, I don't know if you want to say anything else before getting to our big, I don't know if it's like reveal, but a returning character from season 1 is in the back of the van with the homies. You know, when the homies pull up, what was his name again? The little green homie.
Oh my God. The Chai Master or Thai Master or something.
Something like that. Something like that. But then, yeah, they called him Rick Jagger, and I was
Yeah.
like Rick Jagger,
Oh
which
my
I guess
God.
is this character's actual name in the comic books. Like, I guess this is his actual like name in the comics. So they're taking that from a real source.
Ugh.
Um, but
Well,
we
one other thing I wanted to talk about was the fact that there was a needle drop from Ozzy Osbourne in this episode.
right.
Dreamer by Ozzy was playing when Chris is walking through the park, petting puppies, getting hot dogs, having the best day of his life, you know, and then the Sons of Liberty pull up, which is just, I feel like it was intentionally, they were supposed to like intentionally be the most caricature as comic book villain group ever because this dimension is so one dimensional or two dimensional. You know, the bomb that they had set up was literally just like USB ports and shit. But
Right.
one of the funniest parts of that whole sequence to me was when Chris is decided to go into the building and he takes the axe and he chops into that dude's head and he goes, "Wait, what happened?" That killed me. That killed me.
That was hilarious. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, it's good seeing him back in classic Peacemaker mode. You know, back in and how we met him in the Suicide Squad, just a soulless, heartless killer who's just ready to murder in the name of justice and peace.
Yeah.
So he was definitely getting that action in. But I'm curious about the Sons of Liberty, because if this is a world where the bad guys are good and the good guys are bad, like what are they? Like, you know, are they really just regular terrorists, or are they like, you know, what's the liberty? You know, like,
Yeah.
because you know, there's a whole world, you know, like this whole, again, my theory of this other universe being a racist town. Maybe it's not just a racist town or a little racist area there, and maybe it's the whole country. Like maybe it's the whole, I don't know, society that's been affected in this like negative, fascist, you know, very anti-democratic way.
I could totally see that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
I mean,
maybe
they're literally inside the DMV.
right, right. Which is like, dang, if you are holding up a DMV, you are evil. That is bad. But at the same time, what's going on? Like, what's the actual plot behind this whole thing? Because,
Again, there's got to be something darker going on there.
yeah, nah, for sure. But that was funny seeing them take out those hostages. Again, seeing this version of Hardcore just kind of sitting there, just watching in shock instead of jumping in, where I feel like she normally would have jumped in. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude, that pissed me off, low key, because I love seeing her fight. Like, she's so good at that.
Yeah,
And then Keith Smith comes in,
yeah,
like with Iron Man vibes,
right.
blowing up a whole helicopter indiscriminately.
Yeah, that seemed a little dangerous. That seemed a little risky.
It's
I
like
don't know.
there's no consequences for their actions here.
Yeah, true.
They get to do whatever.
They do all. Yeah, they literally did all that and got a standing ovation, like mad applause. So, you know.
Right, justice for those dudes in the helicopter. I mean,
Yeah,
it's starting to paint a pretty grim picture.
Yeah. You know, I'm pretty sure all the bad guys pretty much seemed like they all was dead by the end of it.
Yeah.
You know, and then but at the same time, it's like who gets to assign the like for what is Argus in this universe? We know Argus in DC in the regular timeline, run by Amanda Waller, ran by the government type thing. Here when they go into the Argus headquarters, they just kind of seem like pencil pushers.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking maybe there is kind of like this kind of air of lawlessness happening in this world where
More boys universe-esque kind of.
yeah, exactly.
Like Vought, they're like Vought or something.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, the guy at the front desk did seem to immediately recognize Peacemaker as Peacemaker, and he like was either afraid of him or respected. Like, there was a sense of he kind of owned the place right off the bat. Which, I mean, of course, Chris is gonna be eating that up.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's crazy. There's a lot to see. There's a lot to go into for the next episode. I don't know if you saw the preview for episode 4.
No, I haven't yet.
Yeah. Nah, preview seems like they are gonna be, answering some questions, seeing that what Tim Meadows, and it seems like is gonna be a more prominent one in episode 4. And then they're going to be diving into Rick Flag Sr. Yeah, we didn't see a lot of Rick Flag Sr. We didn't see a lot of storylines that they kind of have been Easter egging so far.
Yeah.
We really just spent a lot of time with Chris in this other universe. So I'm kind of curious on what the crossover is going to be. Oh, that's what I want to mention. Michael Rooker, famous James Gunn collaborator. We saw him play Yondu.
So that was Michael Rooker. Okay. I was like 98% sure. I was like, no way.
Yeah. Michael Rooker comes back in another James Gunn project, and he seems like he's gonna be on the hunt for Eagly. It's gonna be.
Bro, don't even. That pissed me off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't come for Eagly. Like, don't do it. He's the best character, and I think Economos would agree. He was pretty pissed too. But again, they were threatening to fire him.
Yeah, we gotta see. I mean, we gotta see how much of a stone cold ego killer he is. I didn't even know that was a profession that could exist in the real world. But yeah, I feel like we saw Eagly take out like 6 goons. Like, I feel like this guy, he might be a problem, but maybe he's not a problem. We got to see going down the line. But it's interesting.
Right. He might be an eagle hunter, but he's never hunted Eagly.
Facts.
Okay.
Hey, look. You never know. I mean, I want to see. I'm very curious to see where that goes. I'm curious to see how many other DC crossovers we're gonna get. I feel like, we already got the Rick Flag Jr. prediction. We already got a lot of. I thought that was gonna, they say cameos and stuff are gonna happen heavy in the last like 3 episodes. I thought the big cameo was Rick Flag Jr. Now I'm like, yo, what's really about to pop off?
My prediction is that it's gonna be Corn Sweat.
David Corn Sweat pop up as Superman?
Yeah,
maybe.
I think so. I think it's a possibility, and it's pretty reasonable considering that this is all getting started right now.
Yeah, I think there's there could be some Corn Sweat action. I think there's a world where we could see a little bit of Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor in this. Just because they keep mentioning the Metropolis incident. They keep mentioning, the whole like quantum chamber technology was introduced in Peacemaker season 1, but they used it heavy in Superman, and now it's being used heavy again in this one. So I kind of want to know, where did Chris's father even get the technology to begin with? Did it come from
That's
Lex?
A good point. Yeah.
Did Lex
pocket
make it?
Universe.
Right, the pocket universes. Did Lex make those for Chris's father? Did Chris's father make those for Lex? Are we gonna kind of see some allusions to that?
Maybe the best dimension ever is a dimension where Superman doesn't exist. No.
Yeah, nobody can be jealous of how jacked Peacemaker is anymore, So.
Right, and Lex Luthor gets to fund whatever weird white incel groups he wants.
Yeah. No, maybe that's the case. I mean, there's so many ways this series could go. I'm like, I thought I put out some amazing guesses during our first episode prediction, but gosh dang, all of them already kind of ran out, so it's time to make new ones. But let us know in the comments, what are your predictions for season 2? Where do you think the season's headed? Or you think we're going to see David Cornsweet? You think we're going to see Aaron Pierre as Green Lantern? I still feel like that's a maybe. Like,
I would personally love a Mr. Terrific cameo.
Mr. Terrific.
I don't know if that's reasonable to expect.
Eddie Gaffetti, that'd be dope. And one more question before we dip out of here, Cade. Because we have the return of Rick Flag Jr. and because we having, these little previous era DCEU characters being sprinkled in and out of this universe, if you had a DCEU character or any DC character, that you would want to that hasn't appeared in the show yet, that you would want to see appear, who would you pick?
Hold on, I am way more familiar with the Marvel universe, so I'm gonna look up DC Comics superheroes and kind of just so I can make sure I'm picking somebody. Let me see. Okay, I mean, this is kind of a low-hanging fruit, but I'm a huge Robert Pattinson fan. Big Twilight head myself, so I don't think that's gonna happen, but if I could choose, I would love to see a whole episode where Batman teams up with Peacemaker, because Batman's serious, brooding nature with Peacemaker's oblivious, arrogant vibe, I think would be hilarious. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. This is literally just the beginning of the James Gunn Rick and Morty universe, so anything's possible. But what about you? Because I know you probably are more familiar with the DC universe than I am. Is there any deep cuts or any specific characters you want in here?
Well, in the spirit of people from... Okay, let me say this. There's two answers I want to give. There's the easy answer. Of course, the easy answer is Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
That would be sick.
The Suicide Squad and, that franchise. Because especially if you watch the first Suicide Squad movie, David Ayers, and then you watch Birds of Prey, and then you watch James Gunn's Suicide Squad. That's a nice little trilogy of Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. Now you get a full character arc from her. She's being
so good in that character.
She's perfect. I mean, goes from being the Joker's little lapdog, a little subservient in the first one, gaining her independence in Birds of Prey, and then utilizing and acting on that independence in the James Gunn Suicide Squad. I like to see that journey continue personally. It'll probably raise more questions than it would. It'll probably raise more questions than it would answer in terms of, again, continuity. What's what? Who's this? But I want to see it.
I mean, it's a pocket universe. It's whatever. But
yeah, true.
But were there any other characters you'd want to see, or was Harley Quinn your main?
Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn particularly. I really kind of, if you're not doing Margot Robbie, I kind of don't want to see it happen.
Yeah, I feel that.
If I'm giving DCEU characters a second chance, Jurnee Smollett as Black Canary and Birds of Prey as well. She's just an amazing character. Her power is singing. She sings so well that she shatters glass and makes vibrations, and it's kind of incredible how they visualized it in this movie. And I'm sad we didn't get to see more of it. And then I also got to say, look, shout out to my man Ray Fisher, who plays Cyborg, because we know he can act. He was a Broadway actor who got brought into the superhero thing, and they mistreated him. They cut all of his scenes out. We got to see those scenes in the 4-hour Justice League version. Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see how James Gunn made Eddie Gaffetti cool as Mr. Terrific. I want to see how James Gunn can make Cyborg cool.
Yes.
In this universe.
And you know what? Speaking of Teen Titan characters, I think Beast Boy would do so well in the Peacemaker universe. He has this kind of cheeky vibe that Adrian has.
Yeah.
And I think the way that James Gunn loves animals, especially animal characters and characters that are just kind of have kooky powers.
Right.
Growing up on Teen Titans, looking back on it, that was my first introduction to the DC universe.
See?
And Beast Boy was by far my favorite character. I mean, Raven too, but I think Beast Boy in Peacemaker would be chef's kiss.
We need that.
Yeah,
And I want to
not
see
like
them.
an entire Beast Boy movie. Also, I would love that too.
We need a Beast Boy movie. I want to see Beast Boy as a boy. You know, I know they did like a live action Teen Titans version a few years ago, but they were all like teenagers / young adult. You know how the CW kind of ages. The hot 25-year-old. I don't want to see that. I want to see a 13, 14-year-old Beast Boy actually being a boy and dealing with that immaturity of it.
Yeah, maybe like he's going through puberty and becomes a Beast Boy kind of thing.
Yeah, no, honestly,
that would be very interesting.
Honestly, I like that. I want to see that. I think the one thing that we know about James Gunn so far with this DCEU is that he's not going for the big names. He's not going for like the Margot Robbies or the.
I think that's the right move.
Yeah, no, get some younger actors, get some unknown actors, get some actors who need a second chance. You know, Ray Fisher.
We don't need Gal Gadot saying Kal-El.
Yeah.
By the way, have you seen those TikToks of that guy who does the impression of Gal Gadot auditioning for everything? Those have been on my FYP like crazy. He's so funny. We'll drop one right here in the edit, maybe. But
yeah.
That shit's so funny.
That shit.
Peacemaker season 2, episode 3. This has been our recap. Is there anything else you want to touch on? I think we hit everything. In the best ever.
We hit everything. One more detail. You mentioned the Ozzy Osbourne song. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne.
Rest in peace.
Dreamer that they used in this episode, same title as the Foxy Shazam song, Dreamer, that was used in episode 1. So we get two songs named Dreamer in one season, but from different artists.
Interesting.
And low key in different universes.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, though, that's all I got. You know, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Director RB3. And if you're watching on First Cut, you know, subscribe, hit the like button, comment your theories, comment your favorite songs and plot details and everything like that. And Cade, where can people follow you?
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end. Please leave us a comment, add into the conversation. We'll definitely hit on it next week. You can find me everywhere online at Cade Huseby. You can follow the documentary account that Rob and I made, our first feature comedy documentary, Quarter Life Crisis, everywhere at Quarter Life Crisis Movie. We're going to be posting clips soon, maybe some screenings in your area or online. We'll see how things shake out. But a lot of cool stuff going on there.
Come along, children. Now we're
And
going to have a little music.
yeah, listen to my music too on Spotify at Cade Huseby. Again, we all want to see Cute in a Crisis in Peacemaker Season 3. Let's make it happen, James. DM me. We're going to get this going. But yeah, that pretty much does it for us today for episode 3, season 2 of Peacemaker.
Yeah, pot makers, we up. Thanks again for tapping in with us, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
You only one can remain. It's either me or you. Only one can remain. It's either me or you. Take you out the equation. It's either me or you. You do the math. Only one can remain.